हरि ओम् नमः सर्वेभ्यः। अद्य श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतायाः प्रथमभागस्य 30तमं दिनम्। द्वितीयाध्यायस्य 12 श्लोकः। न त्वेवाहं जातु नासं न त्वं नेमे जनाधिपाः न चैव न भविष्यामः सर्वे वयमतः परम्। अत्र पदच्छेदः न तु एव अहं जातु न आसं न त्वं न इमे जनाधिपाः न च एव न भविष्यामः सर्वे वयम् अतः परम्। अत्र पदपरिचयम् इति पश्यामः चेत् तत्र जातु इति शब्दः नूतनः स्यात्। अत्र जातु इत्यस्य कदाचित् इति अर्थः, समटैम्स्। अनन्तरम् आसम् तद्वयं जानीमः, अस्मि इत्यस्य भूतकालप्रयोगः। पुनः इमे इत्येतत् एते इति अर्थः। अनन्तरं जनाधिपाः, अत्र जनानाम् अधिपाः इत्युक्ते राजानः इति अर्थः। भविष्यामः, अनन्तरं सर्वे वयम् अतः परम्। अत्र अतः इत्यस्य अस्मात् इति अर्थः, इतः इत्यस्मिन् अर्थे अत्र अतः इति शब्दप्रयोगः। पुनः अतः इत्यस्य अस्मात् इति अर्थः। अस्तु, अत्र अन्वयं पश्यामश्चेत् अत्र प्रथमं वाक्यं स्वीकुर्मः, तद्वत् एव अन्येषु वाक्येषु अपि अन्वयः करणीयः इति ज्ञेयम्। अत्र आसम् पुनः न आसम् इति क्रियापदं, जातु नासम् इत्यत्र नासम् इति क्रियापदं, न आसम्। अत्र कः न आसम्, अत्र अहं न आसम्, ऐ वास् नाट् देर्, अहं न आसम्। सो पुनः कदा इति पृच्छामः चेत् जातु, अहं जातु नासम्, अहं जातु नासम्, ऐ वास् नाट् देर् सम् टैम्। सो तथा अर्थः, ऐ वास् नाट् देर् सम् टैम्। अत्र किम् इति पृच्छामः चेत् न तु एव इत्यस्य अध्याहारः प्रतिवाक्यं भवति इति ज्ञेयम्। अतः कथम् अवगन्तव्यम्, अहं जातु नासम् इति न तु एव, इति तु नैव इति अर्थः। अहं जातु नासम्, अतः अहं जातु न आसम् इति तु न एव, नैव, इति तु नैव, अहं जातु नासम् इति तु नैव। पुनः अग्रिमवाक्यं किम् अस्ति, न त्वम् इति अग्रिमं वाक्यम्। अत्र त्वं न आसीः, पुनः आसीः इत्यस्य अध्याहारः भवति, त्वं न आसीः, यु आर् नाट् देर्। पुनः त्वं जातु नासीः इत्येव, पुनः जातु इत्यस्य अध्याहारः तत्रापि शक्यते। सो यु आर् नाट् देर् सम् टैम्, इति तु नैव। सो तथा अत्र किम् उच्यते, अहं जातु नासम् इति तु नैव, त्वं जातु नासीः इति तु नैव, पुनः नेमे जनाधिपाः न इमे जनाधिपाः आसन्, पुनः आसन् इत्यस्य अध्याहारः। सो he just shows one example of awesome and that you have to apply accordingly in all the sentences, and jatu can also go in all the sentences, and not tveva, that can also go with all the sentences. Okay, so na ime janadhipaha na asan iti tu naiva. So aham jatu nasam iti tu naiva, tvam jatu nasihi iti tu naiva, ime janadhipaha nasan jatu nasan iti tu naiva. And again the next one, na पुनः न चैव न भविष्यामः सर्वे वयमतः परम् इत्यत्र अतः परं वयं सर्वे न चैव न भविष्यामः. So I think there is a I will correct this अन्वय later. So अतः परं वयं सर्वे न भविष्यामः, पुनः अत्रापि जातु इत्यस्य योजनं शक्यते. सो अतः परं वयं सर्वे जातु न भविष्यामः. Here this na chaiva will get appended later. Iti cha naiva iti अर्थः. तथा पूर्वम् इति तु नैव इतिवत् इति च नैव. So अतः परं वयं सर्वे न भविष्यामः इति च नैव. So तथा अन्वयः शक्यते. So let's see the meaning. So aham jatunasam iti tu naiva. So I was not there sometime. Iti tu naiva. It is not the case. It is not the case, or it is not that I was not there sometime. That means I was there all the time. So there is a double negation. So first negation says I was not there. It is not that I was not there. That means I was there. So ataha aham jatunasam iti tu naiva means that is not that I was not there. That means I was always there. It's just opposite to jatu also. Jatu means kadachit. So now because of iti tu naiva, it becomes sarvada in the meaning of sarvada. So aham sarvada asam tatah artha bhavati. So why there is double negation? It is just to emphasize that I am always there. So just to emphasize that I am always there, he puts double negation to make it positive. So aham sarvada asam. Punah tatheva atrapi tvam jatunasihi iti tu naiva. So you are not there sometime is not like that. That means you were there all the time. That means tvam sarvada asihi eva. You are there all the time. So the final arrival meaning is tvam tu asihi eva sarvada. Tatheva ime janadhipaha na asan iti tu naiva. That means ime janadhipaha sarvada asan eva. So all these rajas, that means the with whom you are planning to fight or going to fight, they were already there all the time. Punah agre vayam sarve na bhavishyamaha. We will not be there. Iti cha naiva. That is also not there. That means we will be there all the time in future also. That means he says that in the past we were there all the time. In the future also we will be there all the time. So tatha artha bhavati. Atra न आसम न आसीहि अथवा आसम आसीहि आसन् इत्यनेन भूतकालः भवति. अत्र भूतकालः इत्युक्ते कदा इति चेत् पृच्छामः चेत् अत्र जन्मनः पूर्वम् इति ज्ञेयम्. अत्र बिफोर् अवर् बर्त् तथा अर्थः अवगन्तव्यः. सो फ्रम् द बर्त् दे आर् आल् देर्. सो अहं जननात् अहम् अस्मि इति अहं जानामि, सर्वे अपि जानन्ति. परन्तु अत्र अहं पूर्वम् आसम् इत्यनेन मम जन्मनः प्राक् अपि अहम् आसम् इति तत्र भावः. That means I was there even before my birth. The birth here it means is this sharirasya jananaat पूर्वमपि अहम् आसम् इति तत्र भावः. तथैव त्वमपि तव शरीरस्य जननात् पूर्वं त्वमपि आसीहि. तथैव इमे जनाधिपाः अपि तेषां शरीर जननात् प्राक् ते अपि आसन्. So here the important factor here is he is trying to distinguish that shariram is different and you are different. So basically if you see, this is the second shloka of Upadesha, the Krishna's Upadesha, and he is trying to directly make an impression that he is trying to introduce a very core principle that you are different. That means the shariram is different and you are different. So aham, I was there all the time before my birth, means the birth happened only to shariram, and before the shariram I was there all the time. And similarly ataha param, atra asmat param, asmat nama from after this, after what, atra sharira pradvansat param iti uchyate. after the destruction of the shariram, vayam sarve vayam sarve bhavishyamaha eva. So we all will be there even after our body's destruction. So again here he is saying your body is different. That means he is trying to introduce the concept that your body is anityam. So your body is anityam, but you are eternal. You are there before this body and you will be there after this body. That means before birth you are there and after birth you are there. Satra Anvayaha Avagamyate iti manye. I was there all the time. You are there all the time. And all these people were there all the time. Similarly, all of us will be there in future all the time. That means before our birth and after our death, we all will be. We were there and we all will be there. So tatha atra uchyate. So the first thing is he is trying to clearly distinguish that you are not the shariram. So you are the atma. See, he is not directly telling is atma. He is telling that it's me and you, but we have to understand that it is atma. The atma that is different than shariram, and the atma which was there earlier, which will be there later, but your shariram is temporary, which is in the middle somewhere. It comes out and goes off. Okay, that is one thing. And other thing is अत्र आत्मनः आत्मा नित्यः इति अस्माभिः उक्तम्. अत्र अस्माभिः ज्ञायते. अत्र नित्यस्य लक्षणं किम् इति पृच्छामश्चेत् तद् अनादिः अनादि अनन्तं नित्यं भवति. So one which does not have beginning, one which does not have end, he is नित्यम्. अत्र अनादि इति कथम् अत्र उपस्थाप्यते? अहम् आसम् सर्वदा, अहम् अस्मि सर्वदा, अहं भविष्यामि सर्वदा इत्यनेन अहम् आसम् सर्वदा इत्यनेन तत्र अनादि इति उच्यते. अतः अत्र शरीरम् अनित्यम् इति उच्यते. अत्र शरीरस्य लक्षणं पश्यामः चेत् प्राग् अभावः तथा प्रध्वंसाभावः इमौ द्वौ अपि अत्र शरीरस्य लक्षणे भवतः. So these two are the the lakshanam for the shariram, that is which does not exist, which was not existing before birth and which will not exist after death. That means before birth it will not exist and after death it will not exist. So one which satisfies these two conditions, that generally fits under the anitya category, and shariram also fits into that category. The opposite of that is the nityam, that is yasya प्रागभावः तथा प्रध्वंसाभावः च नास्तः तद् नित्यम्. अतः अत्र अहम् पूर्वमपि आसम्, अधुना अपि अस्मि, अग्रे अपि भविष्यामि इत्यनेन मम प्राग् अभावः नास्ति, मम प्रध्वंसाभावः नास्ति. अतः प्राग् अभावरहितः अस्मि, प्रध्वंसाभावरहितः अस्मि, अतः अहं नित्यः. So hope you are able to connect all the dots. So why I am nityah, why I am eternal? Because I have existence before my body's birth and I will have existence after my body's destruction. So I am eternal. So tatha atra artha kalpyate. So let's quickly go over this Shankara Bhashyam. I'm not going through other things because hope you can actually go over them when you get time actually and you are interested. Okay, let's quickly go over this. Natu eva jatu kadachit. Atra natu eva jatu means kadachit. Aham nasam. Kintu asam eva. So he is actually giving the final conclusion of the meaning. What is the meaning of the first one? So aham jatanasam ititu naiva ityanena aham asam eva iti artha tatra kalpyate. Punaha atiteshu dehotpatti vinasheshu घटादिषु वेदिव नित्यः एव अहम् आसम् इति अभिप्रायः. कस्य अभिप्रायः? पुनः श्लोकस्य अभिप्रायः, शङ्करस्य न. Aham asam I was there. By saying that, what it tries to say, the shloka tries to say is atiteshu dehotpatti vinasheshu अत्र देहोत्पत्ति विनाशाः अभवन् इति तत्र मन्यते. So there were many sharirams took birth and they died. Okay, many sharirams are not others for our own self. There were many shariram in the previous, that it is talking about the previous births. There were many sharirams which came and which went off. So atiteshu dehotpatti vinasheshu घटादिषु वियदिव नित्यः एव अहम् आसम् इति अभिप्रायः. So I was permanent, I was eternal in all the previous dehas. So how katham aham nityah iti te घटादिषु वेदिव. This is a very common example you can see in all this shastra, like अत्र घटः अस्ति इति चिन्तयामः. अत्र घटः निर्मीयते. घटात् पूर्वं किं भवति? तत्र मृत् भवति. तत्र घटः नासीत्. तत्र मृत् भवति, मृतः घटः भवति, पुनः घटस्य नाशे तत् पुनः मृत् भवति. So clay becomes pot and pot becomes clay again. So this is a cycle. And अत्र यदि घटः भवति, मृत् यदि घटः भवति, घटे आकाशः भवति. तत्र आकाशः, अत्र वियत् इत्यनेन आकाशः, अत्र घटे आकाशः भवति. आकाशः नाम space. There is a space inside the ghata that is created the moment we create the pot. And similarly, yadi ghataha nashtaha bhavati, when the ghata gets destroyed, the akasha, what happens to that akasha? There's nothing really happens to the akasha. So when we have ghata, the akasha is seen just because there is a boundary called ghata. So we see that's a separate akasha. But when the ghata goes, the akasha is still there. But we don't actually see it as a separate akasha because there is no ghata. But still there is akasha. So hope you are able to find. So there is a space always. There is a space whether you have a ghata or not. There is a space always. So that vat aham asam sarvada. So all these sharirams are like a ghata. They come and they go. They come and go. They go. But the space inside that is always there. Whether ghata is there or not there, the space is always common. Similarly, aham asam sarvada. I was there all the time. And this is a very common example you can see. So the akasha that is within the ghata is generally called as avachinnaha akashaha iti uchyate. So avachinna is one which is bound, which has some boundaries. But it literally doesn't, I mean, while seeing it as boundaries, but it is not any more different than the akasha outside the ghata. Right? So it is the same akasha that is there inside the ghata and outside the ghata, but while seeing, it looks different, and that such a akasha is actually called as avachinna akasha. Okay, so he is actually trying to say all my previous sharirams are like ghata. In all those ghata, like akasha, I was there all the time. The ghata come and then we make ghata and we destroy it. Similarly, there's a jananam and maranam which keeps happening for the shariram. But I was constant, I was there all the time. So that is what he tries to say. So atiteshu dehotpatti vinaseshu ghatadishu viyadiva nityaha eva aham asam iti abhiprayah. Tatha na tuvam na asihi kintu asireva. See, similarly, like me, you are also there all the time. In all the, again, you have to compare like this. Tava dehotpatti vinaseshu ghatadishu viyadiva nityaha eva tuvam asihi iti abhiprayah tatrapi. पुनः तथा न इमे जनाधिपाः न आसन् किन्तु ते आसन् एव. So even all these people, they also had multiple births before this current birth, and like ghatadishu vedeva te api आसन् एव तथा न च एव न भविष्यामः किन्तु भविष्यामः एव सर्वे वयम् अतः वयं सर्वे अपि भविष्यामः एव. So we all will be there in future as well. अतः अत्र अतः the meaning of अतः is given like अस्मात् देह विनाशात् परम्. So even after the destruction of this body, we all will be there. kada उत्तरकाले, after our death, we all will be there. So तथा उच्यते. पुनः त्रिषु अपि कालेषु नित्याः वयम् इति आत्मस्वरूपेण इति अर्थः. So from the point of Atma, we are all eternal. So it's basically the shloka, the core principle is actually explained here. That too in the second shloka itself. So this is the actual meaning of this shloka. And there is one more sentence which comes to prove the Advaita philosophy. अत्र पूर्वम् अस्माभिः दृष्टम् एकात्मवादः नानात्मवादः इति अस्माभिः दृष्टम्. एकात्मवादः नाम सर्वेषु जीवेषु अपि एकः एव आत्मा अस्ति इति एकात्मवादः. अत्र सर्वेषु जीवेषु पृथक् आत्मानः सन्ति इति नानात्मवादः. अत्र अद्वैत सम्प्रदाये एकात्मवादः आश्रियते. अतः अत्र किम् उच्यते? देहे भेदानुवृत्त्या बहुवचनं नात्मभेद न आत्मभेदाभिप्रायेण न जीवात्मभेदाभिप्रायेण इत्युक्ते from the perspective of multiple dehas, there is a bahuvachanam used in the shloka, but in the actual Atma perspective, it is all the ekavachanam that is to be used. But from the perspective of individual dehas, there is a bahuvachanam. Kutra bahuvachanam? Aham, tvam, anantram, asan, janadhipaha iti bahuvachanam, vayam भविष्यामः तत्रापि बहुवचनम्. अत्र आत्मा इति एकः एव आत्मा भवति खलु. तर्हि तत्र कथं तर्हि तावन्तः आत्मानः सन्ति वा इति पृच्छामः चेत् तथा नास्ति. अत्र देहे भेदानुवृत्त्या बहुवचनं नात्मभेदाभिप्रायेण इति तत्र भावः. So Atma is still the same, only one Atma, but still because there are multiple dehas that we are talking about, like me and you and other kings, Janadipaha, there are multiple dehas. So there is a bahuvachanam. It's not for the Atma. So that's what he tries to put his Advaita principle here. And again, the next question is, Astu, tarihi atra kim uchyate, Atma nityaha iti uchyate. Tad aham katham janami. Atra, it's very theoretically, you explain that Atma is nityam. So aham katham anubhavami, Atma nityaha iti aham katham anubhavami. तत्र विस्तरेण कथं वक्तुं शक्नुमः इति पृच्छामः चेत् तत्र अग्रिमश्लोके सः एव विषयः अस्ति इति अत्र उच्यते. तत्र कथमिव नित्यः आत्मा इति दृष्टान्तम् आह. So there is an example said in the next shloka which says how Atma is nitya or eternal. So that is explained with an example in the next shloka. That is what Shankaracharya says here. So this concludes this particular one. And here, according to different sampradayas, they interpret this in different ways. Like, pratamam, tatha puram, before all this, aham sarvada asam iti atra arthaha avagamyate. Atra kaha vadati etad vakyam, sakshat bhagavan eva vadati. So, bhagavan eva vadati sakshat aham sarvada asmi iti bhagavan vadati. यथा अहम अस्मि तथैव भवन्तः सर्वे अपि सर्वदा भवन्ति इति तत्र अभिप्रायः. So this is where the different sampradayas interpret this shloka differently. See, according to Advaita, he clearly says there is no bahuvachanam because the Atma is the only one according to them. Because of dehas are multiple, we use bahuvachanam, and he closes the conversation there. But in the other sampradayas, they say he clearly distinguishes aham and tvam and janadipaha. That means there is a parameshwaraha and there is other jivatmas, and again there is a bahuvachan. There are again anekatmavada. So all these things are actually wherever whichever sampradayas they treat Atma and Brahma as same, they say that Aham and Tuam both are same here in this shloka. And whichever sampradaya, and wherever they say they are different, they say that Aham Asam or Asmi Sarvada, Tuam api Asi Sarvada. So I am also there all the time, and you are also there all the time. So that is there is a prataktvam for Brahma and Atma. So in those cases, they treat the first sentence as separately saying that I am different and you are different. I am also eternal and you are also eternal. So in that sampradayas. And similarly for Ekatma Vadas, like Shankara, he clearly says because of Dehas, it's a Bahuvachanam. It's not actually Bahuvachanam. That's what he does the Tiraskaram of Bahuvachanam here. And similarly for other whoever follows the Nanatma Vada, they clearly say there's a Bahuvachanam because there are multiple jivas and each jiva will have their own Atma, and that's why there is a Bahuvachanam here. So this is how the interpretation differs according to the Sampradayas. So maybe those who are interested, they can read other commentaries. In the shloka, the final tatparyam of this shloka, if I have to say in single line, then it is Atma Nityaha, Anatma Anityaha. That is the tatparyam it tries to explain. So when I say Atma, you have to replace with all the paryaya shabdas like Atma Nityaha, Dehi Nityaha, Shariri Nityaha, Dehava Nityaha, Anatma Anityaha, Shariram Anityam, Dehaha Anityaha. So this is the principle this shloka tries to establish. So like that we will see the properties of Atma and Anatma in the subsequent shlokas. That is from shloka number 12 to 25. So in these shlokas, we will see the properties of Atma and Anatma. Either mostly we study about the properties of Atma, and thus the opposite of those properties are of the Anatma. So when you say Atma Nityaha, the Anatma is Anityaha. So like that we will take a opposite meaning for other category. And similarly, there are two shlokas, especially like 14 and 15. These two shlokas, they talk about Anatma. So entire set like a 12 to 25, they talk about Atma, except these two shlokas like a 14 and 15, they talk about Anatma. So overall, up to 25 shlokas, we'll be studying about the properties of Atma and Anatma. So with that, we get the understanding of what is Atma. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any feedback or suggestions, you can fill in the feedback form in the description. If you have any comments or if you have any questions, you can post them in the comment section below. If you like this session, like this video and share this video with your friends and interested people. And please subscribe to this channel Sanskrit.Today to watch more videos like this. धन्यवादः. वयं पुनः मिलिष्यामः.